Tuesday night. It means we're on the Lorain County Sports Network, ready to bring you live high school basketball. We've got a great evening planned for you tonight. We are at Clearview High School, and we're going to have a non-conference game between the Clippers and the Open Door Patriots. I'm John Guzik, and my partner Max Drummond sitting alongside, getting everything ready to go with Edwin Vereen and Michael Allison. I'm going to start this broadcast by wishing a special anniversary hello to Jim Allen. And for many who don't know, Jim Allen is my uncle. He just celebrated his 54th anniversary this past weekend of doing local sports on the radio, 54 years. And one of the things he did on Friday afternoon was announce the next class of the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame. We're going to talk about that at halftime tonight with a very special guest that's part of that Hall of Fame class. And guess what? We're going to have some basketball in between, too. This is the Stewart's TV and Appliance Game of the Week on the Lorain County Sports Network. Shop smart, shop local, shop Stewart's TV and Appliance, and his Open Door is already on the court. We start our broadcast by getting a chance to break down what to expect on tonight's game by talking to both coaches. And it's the Great Lakes Basketball Coach's Corner. Great Lakes Basketball, we train with the best. Jay Valadez, a certified AAU coach. My partner Max Drummond starts off tonight's coverage by talking to Open Door Patriots head coach Alan Januzzi on the Lorain County Sports Network.
Welcome into the Great Lakes Basketball Coach's Corner. I'm Max Drummond, and taking the time to chat with me before our game tonight is Alan Januzzi, head coach of Open Door. Coach, thanks for taking some time.
Absolutely, I appreciate you guys being here and covering the game.
It's our pleasure. So this is going to be our first time seeing you on the stream. I know that. And your team has faced a lot of tough competition to this point. How do you think that's served your team so far in the season?
Well, I think when you play a tough schedule, number one, you're challenging your kids. But more importantly, you can't make certain mistakes when you're playing a good team. You know, if you play a weaker schedule, you can make mistakes and still have success in terms of wins and losses. But, you know, when you're playing tough competition, you're going to pay for every mistake. So it really forces our guys to execute and forces them, to really focus on each and every possession, both offensively and defensively. So the other thing is if you compete with good teams, it builds confidence. And that's what we've been able to do so far is compete with good teams and, and get a couple wins against some good teams also. And I think that's helping build our confidence.
Yeah, and you talk about building that confidence and facing a lot of different teams. It's forced you to use a lot of your rotation. It just seems like there's so many guys that can contribute or lead the way, whether it's in scoring or in getting the offense going. How do you guys go about having such a balanced approach night in, night out?
Well, we really preach team basketball. We don't run plays. We don't run plays for any individual. We just stress moving the basketball, every score off an assist, and, getting a good shot. So, the big thing that we preach is that it's your job to show up to make your teammates better. So if you got all, 10 guys that are showing up that day to make the teammate better, you got 9 guys that are, helping you out to help you have a good game. So it's really just, unselfishness preached at practice and, over and over again. It's just a huge point of emphasis. And fortunately, we've got guys that play that way. And we've got, several guys that can put the ball in the basket and, do a lot of things. So the balance really helps us.
It definitely comes across, whether you're looking in the stat sheet or just in some of the highlights. I know I've been able to see, and it comes from a lot of experienced players on your roster. Clearview, they have a lot of experience, a lot of guys who played varsity minutes, and also a lot of athleticism in their lineup. How do you go about defending them in tonight's game?
Well, I think we're going to mix up defenses. The key really is to kind of keep them in front of us, keep them on the perimeter. There's really, a few keys when you play a team with the athleticism at Clearview. Number one is you don't want to turn the ball over. You want to make sure that you're, getting good, efficient offensive possessions. Every time you put the ball in the basket, you can get back in a defense, whether it's a zone, man-to-man, some type of pressure. And you got to communicate. We've got to be able to communicate. We've got to be able to sit on defense and keep them in front. And I think if we can do that, get them to take contested shots and then rebound the ball. Don't turn the ball over and rebound the basketball. Those are going to be the 2 keys for us tonight.
Well, we really appreciate your insight for tonight's game, and best of luck this evening.
Thanks again for coming. I appreciate it.
Great Lakes Basketball brings you the Coach's Corners every Tuesday night before our tip-off, and we've got Clearview head coach Jason Christensen. Coach, give us a little assessment of the year so far, as tonight's being a non-conference game is kind of a little bit of a way to kind of break up the season and kind of reassess. So where's the Clearview program right now?
Right now, we're battling some adversity. With our record where it is, we're not really where we want to be at this point in the season. I felt like we got off to a slow start, and we played a stretch of a couple real strong games there in the middle, and then last few games we haven't shot it real well again. So we've been working on our execution. We've been working on a lot of different things in practice, and we're not trying to throw too much at the guys, but we definitely see improvement, but we need that to start translating into wins and wins and success on the basketball.
Of course, the beauty of high school basketball is everyone gets that second season. So like I said, you kind of take a breath in this non-conference game tonight. What's particularly where you'll be looking to get out of your players in tonight's game?
I think Open Door is a good challenge. They're a really good team. I like the tempo that they play at, so I think this game will be a little bit more up and down for us, and I look forward to our guys getting out and running a little bit. So, with that, I hope that translates into a little bit more points. We've struggled to score, and I talked about our shooting percentage in the last couple of games, so I'm hoping that tonight that we'll see improvement there just by being able to get out and run and maybe get some easy baskets. So, I think this is a good opportunity for us on a Tuesday night. Like you said, non-conference, and we're in a tough stretch of our schedule. We got Brookside on Friday and Columbia on Saturday, so, in that conference area. So this is a good night for us to get our legs and go out there and get some work.
And, of course, it's the Clippers' debut on the YouTube channel here of the Lorain County Sports Network. So give our viewers a little overview and highlights of who's making up the Clearview team this year and who are the guys we're going to be calling on the most tonight.
We're led by a strong group of seniors. So we have 7 seniors. We have 5 or 6 that play quite a bit. A lot of them guys are well known from football, and we have Aiden Cruz, and he's a strong player. He can play inside and out. We have Jai Walton, who's a forward, our leading scorer and rebounder. We have Keith Colvin, who's a good outside shooter for us, and then Malcolm Lane and Ethan Lorenzana. They come in and give us good minutes at the guard spot and are very, very good defenders. Then we have our younger guys. We have Canyon Delgado, who's a junior power forward. He's a good defender. And Deacon Delgado is also a long forward who we have high expectations for. And Cy Christensen is the sophomore starter for us, who's also a very good shooter.
And I know we're also recognizing the 50th anniversary of the Clippers state championships, and there's so much heritage to the Clipper basketball. Are you able to use that with these younger kids and be able to kind of translate what has happened in these gyms over the decades?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time, and Coach Sally and everything he did for this program, and the tradition that's here, and sometimes you gotta kind of remind these guys the tradition and everything that's happened here at Clearview, as the younger generations come forward. So, we think that's a big part of our program, and we think that's really important to recognize. And Coach Sally still comes around, and he'll come to practices and talk with our group and stuff. So, yeah, we're really fortunate that's happening.
We feel fortunate to be here tonight, and we're looking forward to, you said Clearview wants to get up and down the court and get some easy baskets. We know Open Doors likes to get out and run it, so we'll try to keep up with it all here tonight, and good luck to you. It's Clippers and Patriots tipping off in just a few minutes here on the Lorain County Sports Network. And again, our thanks to the coaches for taking a few minutes out of their evening as they get ready to hoop things up tonight with their players to talk to us and our Coach's Corner. I'm John Guzik along with Max Drummond getting ready to go. We just got about 5 more minutes of warm-ups and then obviously introductions and the national anthem. And what we've got tonight is we've got a non-conference game as the Open Door Patriots come into tonight's game sporting a record of 8-6. They actually were on a 3-game winning streak until dropping their last one to Lake Center Christian by a total of 12 points. Meanwhile, Clearview's been a little up and down. They've had some things going, but now riding a 3-game losing streak, including coming off a 9-point loss to Firelands over the weekend. They come in sporting a record of 3-7. So one of those games is really important for both teams. It's a non-conference game in Clearview, trying to get ready for that second season. And while Open Door has done everything they can to build a schedule that basically plays up from what they're expecting in their postseason. And this year, the Ohio High School Athletic Association has instituted an RPI rating to help with the seeding in the district that comes up in just over a month. And as it stands right now in Division 4, there are 40 teams in the Northeast District. Open Door right in the middle part of that at number 18, looking to improve that because they've done many times here, playing teams in the higher divisions, and Clearview is a Division 3 team. And of the 52 teams in Division 3, Clearview currently stands in the 38th spot as far as the RPI rankings are concerned. So those are kind of the overview of the two teams that we've got set up for tonight. And we're bringing Max Drummond to talk about our keys of the game, which are brought to you each Tuesday night by our friends at Buckeye Community Bank. Today and tomorrow, your partner for growth. Who's going to do what to turn the key tonight?
Start with the hosting Clearview Clippers. Obviously, they have the home court advantage tonight. Got to use that. Get off to a fast start. When they've started slow, it's been very difficult for them to climb back into games, as you might expect. But for them, when they've been able to start hot, they've been able to remain competitive, especially in those 3 wins. And then when you look over to the Open Door side, get as many guys involved as possible. Their rotation is deep. They have multiple guys who score in the double digits. So just as Coach Januzzi mentioned in the Coach's Corner, just share the ball, play team ball, and that's really going to help guide them to where they want to go tonight.
We saw that when we had Open Door on WOBL earlier this year, where they were just absolutely blowing out Lake Ridge, and they were putting in subs, and they can still continue to pour in the points because that's just what they're used to. And for Clearview, that home court advantage may be a little slighted today because neither team had school, and that obviously can impact the crowd that comes out. You don't have that kind of chatter in the hallways, and you've got a little kind of damp, chilly weather out there. It doesn't make it that easy to get back to school. So we'll see what the crowd builds in here as we build up to tip-off in just a few minutes. JV game ended up being a victory for the Clippers, and we'll see what's going to happen next. And we have, one gentleman for Clearview, I commented, I got a chance to run into Aiden Cruz in the locker room, and at that time he was actually giving the heads up to his coach, Jason Christensen, that he would be able to play tonight, but we still find him on our injury report, which is brought to you by Illyria Jeweler and Repair, treating customers like family. So we'll hear in the starting lineups that Aiden won't be a starter, but he will certainly be someone that the Clearview Clippers will have as an important part of their rotation coming up as well tonight. So we're getting ready for tip-off. We're going to have the starting lineups. We'll have our playing of our national anthem coming up in just a couple of minutes. So stick with us. We've got a fun night for you here on the Lorain County Sports Network. Back at Clearview, actually not only getting an early start to tonight's game because of the speed of the JV game, but they actually just took another minute off the clock of warm-ups because both teams had returned to their bench. So we're going to get tip-off going here in just a few minutes. But first, we're going to have a chance to listen in on our national anthem, which is brought to you by Rich Resendez. Vote Rich Resendez for Lorain County Sheriff in 2024. And then following that, we'll talk about who's going to make up the starting lineup for tonight's game and what they've done so far. Clearview coming in, averaging 57.8 points a game. Meanwhile, and they want to get out early and get some easy baskets, and they're going against a team that scores over 72 in open door. So we're expecting a lot of fun tonight, and now our national anthem. Looking around the gym during the national anthem, I spied another new sign up on the wall. We were talking about some of their championship banners from years past. So we'll get into all that as the evening goes along. A lot of history going on tonight, and a couple of teams trying to make their own histories this year. So let's start off with our starting lineups, which are brought to you by Smitty's Place. Smitty's Place, where friends meet in Illyria. And let's get into the Open Door Patriots. First of all, they're going to roll out number 1. Nolan Rack will be out there. He's a 6'1 junior, averaging 4.6 points a game, and leads the team with 1.9 assists per game. Also starting out there will be the coach's son, Anthony Januzzi, now a senior, 6 foot, number 10. Will be come in sporting a 15.7 average and 3.2 rebounds a game. R.J. Penny will also be starting back there. He'll be wearing 11. He's a 6'2 senior. He's averaging 15.4 points a game and almost 2 rebounds per outing. Julius Moon is the one really racking up the stats for the Open Door Patriots. He'll be wearing number 12. He's a 6'2 senior. 16.1 points per game, 8.7 rebounds per game as well. And then rounding out the starting lineup and wearing number 30, Aaron Petit, a 6'4 senior, averaging 12.3 points and 7.3 rebounds per game. For the home team, the Clearview Clippers, we mentioned they come in with a 3-7 record. They're 2-5 so far in the Lorain County Conference. They're coached by Jason Christensen, and they're going to roll out his son, the only sophomore out there. Cy Christensen will be wearing number 3. He's averaging 7.6 points a game, leads the team with 17 made three-pointers on this season. Number 4 out in the backcourt will be Keith Colvin. He comes in averaging 9.6 points a game, and he also has 11 three-pointers on the season. Jai Walton will be wearing number 5. The forward senior comes in averaging 12 points and 6 rebounds a game. Ashton Noble is out there with number 14. He's averaging 7.4 points and 3 steals per game. And then you also see number 42, Deacon Delgado. He's a sophomore out there as well. The forward averages 5 rebounds a game. And that is Kenyon Delgado out there. Made a switch in the starting lineup, going with the junior Kenyon as a starter, and he's out there in the circle to jump up against number 30, Aaron Petit, to get this game going. Clearview in the white with the gold lettering. Open Door, the visitors in the blue with the white lettering, and Clearview has the tap. And we're off and rolling here. Clearview and Open Door in Sheffield Township this evening. Working in the corner for Clearview is Christensen down to Holden, shot no good. Rebounds controlled on the other side by Delgado, but then shoved out of bounds, and starting to, well, with an offensive rebound, but turns that into the first turnover of the game for the Clippers.
Yeah, and they got an open look right away, pulled the trigger, just weren't able to knock down the shot.
For Open Door, this is Anthony Januzzi bringing the ball into the front court, passes on the left side to Penny, back to Januzzi, looking to get through this three-quarter court pressure by the Clippers. Steps through, gets it back to Penny. Cross-court pass comes all the way over to Lane. His shot up, no good. Rebound comes off to Noble. Noble into the front court. Dishes it in a corner over to Colvin. Colvin shot again, no good. Rebound pulled down by Penny. Penny back the other way as he gives it off to Januzzi. Januzzi across the timeline, back to Penny. Drives into the lane, pulls up in the middle of the lane. Shot rolls around the rim and off the left side, no good. Rebound comes off to Christensen, and quickly back into the front court is Clearview. It's going to try Colvin in the corner again. Hey, third time's the charm. And we're off and scoring with a three-pointer from Keith Colvin to get the scoring underway in this game tonight. Again, three-quarter court pressure from Clearview. And it's giving them a little bit of slowdown there, getting close to some 10-second calls. Here's an open door shot on the left baseline, comes off the hand of Petit and then goes out of bounds as they battle underneath. And Clearview will get the next possession. 6:36 to go, first quarter, just getting underway. Only one hoop in the basket so far, and only a couple shots by each team.
Now we see Open Door respond with a press of their own.
Pass down on the baseline, and driving up the baseline and taking some contact as he goes up is Jai Walton. 5-0 Clearview. Open Door is going to be patient breaking this press, but if you get any stuck in a spot when you're already at the 6 or 7 count, then you don't have much room to margin for error. Here's a shot in the corner from Rack. It's off the rim, no good. Goes out of bounds, and Clearview another team rebound. Julius Moon has a look of like, what? Okay, but it'll be white ball with 6:04 to go first quarter.
Well, so far the Patriots are doing a good job trying to find that extra pass, that extra opening that a press like this gives you, but they just haven't been able to convert on any of these shots so far.
It's still early. Both teams really struggling to get kind of any type of offensive rhythm going. Clearview with the ball. That's Noble back around the top of the key, still looking in for his offense. Colvin with that first three-pointer, and then as he tries to pass it down, ball makes some contact with Petit's legs, so they're going to call a kick. And Clearview will resume possession underneath the basket.
In Open Door, they sport a lot of height in their starting lineup, and right now it's given the Clippers some fits.
Colvin likes that spot, but that one's blocked in the corner. He gets the recovery of the block, hands it off to Walton. His reverse layup no good, and then putting it back up and then hitting the turf is Colvin on the putback. He's got 5, and it's 7-0 Clearview. Well, great block in the corner by Open Door. Getting out to the defense after they saw Colvin take 3 of those shots. Now Januzzi takes a deep 3 from the left side, and he's on the board, and so is Open Door. 7-3, and we know he's got the capability of hitting those long-range jumpers from any spot on the floor. Of course, play over at Open Door, a little smaller gymnasium, smaller court to play on. There's a nice pass underneath. Good shot from Noble down to Cy Christensen, turns and makes the shot off the glass, and it's back to a 6-point lead for Clearview, 9-3.
Yeah, just a smart cut there, found his way back door, and Open Door wasn't ready for it.
This is Petty. Moon, you have to take a shot in this game yet. Driving the baseline and then working it around and over in the corner on the right side is a missed shot by Penny. Rebound is controlled finally by Petit, who puts it back up and in. He has his first 2 of the game, 9-5. We're almost halfway through this first quarter. Both teams still a little sluggish on offense.
It just feels like that corner has just been the bane of Open Door's existence tonight so far, not being able to hit a shot despite 3 open looks.
Christensen a deep 3, even farther than what Januzzi's was, and the coach's sons both have 3-pointers here early in the game. 5 for Christensen, 12-5. I mentioned Al Januzzi, coach of Open Door. That's his son with the ball right now. And then Christensen, who just made the 3-pointer for Clearview, is the sophomore son of the Clearview head coach, Jason Christensen. Julius Moon's first shot is up and no good. Rebound by Walton, and he gets it over to Christensen, who brings it in the front court. Colvin tries that favorite spot down in the corner, no good, but Jai Walton gets the rebound, drives the lane up and no good. Rebound controlled by Petit, and Open Door back on offense. 12-5, 3:24 to go. Januzzi's shot way up off the glass and misses the rim. Comes down, and now this is Walton for Clearview, driving the length of the court, up and off the glass, and Walton takes it from end to end, and he has 4 points, and quickly it's a 9-point lead by Clearview. They wanted some easy baskets early. They have that, so we'll see what Open Door can respond with when we return on the Lorain County Sports Network. Just a 30-second timeout, so we'll get back to the action here quickly as Clearview has built up a 14-5 lead. A little more than halfway through this first quarter of this non-conference game. Glad to have you along on the Stewart's TV and Appliance Game of the Week here on the Lorain County Sports Network. I want to thank all of our sponsors who help make things happen, including our friends at Lorain County Community College. They bring you your opening tip each week at LCCC. Your year, your classes, your future. And they're getting some shirts tucked in as they come out of the huddle. And we're back at action. Here's Januzzi for Open Door. Again, patiently bringing it up. You're probably already at a 4, 5, maybe even 6-second count here. Gets it over. This is Otero in the game for the first time, and that's Joe Pruitt. Two guys come in off the bench here during that timeout, and Julius Moon gets the ball just above the foul line and converts for his first 2 points of the game. And that makes it 14-7, Clearview in the lead. Christensen on the right side. Gets it over to Cruz. Cruz in the game for the first time. We mentioned him in our injury report during our pregame show. Christensen tries his first three from the left side. That one's no good. Pruitt with the rebound, hands it off to Januzzi, and Open Door back at it. Petit, and then drives it into the corner to Otero. His first three-pointer's no good. Battle for the rebound. Going to say Moon knocked it out again. I think Moon's trying to say maybe, yeah, he knocked it out, but did it touch a white jersey's hand on its way out? Richie Strong, the official, says no, it didn't. Went straight out of bounds, and Clearview's got the ball again with a 7-point lead.
Yeah, and so far, Clearview definitely been more active on the boards on both ends of the court. See if that keeps up.
One is Malcolm Lane with the ball right now. He's in the game for the first time today. Shoots it in the corner to Christensen, back out to Lane. Working it around the arc. This is Cruz, and he tried to look to see what was going inside the lane. He dragged his back foot, and it gets turnover for the Clippers. Open Door gets another chance, and coming into the game for Clearview is Deacon Delgado. We got a couple Delgados on the team. Christensen's, Januzzi's out there, multiple ones. And Januzzi, that one goes through his legs in the backcourt, and now he's got to hurry to get it across, and he does. Dishes it over on the right side to Otero. Otero back to Januzzi, being guarded closely by Cruz, but he backs it out. Now far left side to Pruitt. And Januzzi will reset from the top of the key. We're at 1:37 in the first quarter. Three-point attempt from the left side by Penny, and he drills it. Good job of working the ball around till you find the open man by Open Door. And now it's down to a 4-point lead is all it is for Clearview. After they at one point were up by 9. Trying to answer from the right side. No good is Lane's shot. Here comes Open Door. Januzzi working on the right side against Noble. Backs it out. Gets it over to Otero. Otero to Pruitt. Pruitt driving into the circle. Dumps it down to Julius Moon. Beautiful pass. Great job of moving without the ball was Moon, and he has 4. And all of a sudden, a 2-point game in the final minute of this first quarter. And Clearview was up by 9 when we had that quick timeout. Sometimes you always wonder what the coaches say in those timeouts when the team comes out and answers like this, as Open Door has. 40 seconds to go. This time it's Noble driving the lane, up with the left hand and up and over the rim and good. As Shinoble, his first 2, pushes it back out to a 4-point lead. Final half minute. First quarter. Told you we had a good one lined up. Nothing to disappoint at all. And that is one of those things we've alluded to, is you admire the quality of patience by Open Door in the backcourt. But when you get a little bit behind, all of a sudden that 10 creeps up very quickly. And that's what happened for another turnover by Open Door. Clearview get another chance as the Clippers bring Colvin and Christensen back in.
And I was about to say, just before that occurred, I mean, I almost want to see Januzzi rush it up the floor a little more and put some pressure on that Clearview defense. We'll see if they try that.
Cruz gets the dump down in the middle of the lane, tried to get it down on the baseline to Delgado. Got knocked around back in the hands of Cruz. And Jimbo Riddell is going to come off the baseline with a foul call on Open Door. And we haven't had a lot of those this quarter. It's gone quickly. There's only 15.9 left on the clock here. It's the first team foul. Not sure who it was called on. They tried to get it into Cruz in the middle of the lane. Again, he tried to pass it back quickly, but there was nobody going where he thought they were, so Clearview matches turnovers with Open Door. And Open Door gets a chance for the last shot. Final 5 seconds, driving the lane is Penny. And as he goes up, we're going to get a foul called, and we're going to get our first free throws of the game.
And Aiden Cruz, of course, a little upset there. He thought he got all ball on that one, and it was very close. It could have gone either way.
I wasn't sure who was called on because Noble was there with defense too, trying to meet him, but they did give the foul up on the scoreboard to Cruz. So his first, team first, and Penny makes the first. Second one is up as well and good, and it's back to a 2-point game. And for the final 4.2 seconds, Open Door shoots Nolan Rack back in there. Clearview get a chance to put some points up here before we close out the first quarter. Christensen, their best three-point shooter, gets it across court. A running three-pointer goes over the basket, no good as time expires, and that's how the first quarter ends. After Clearview got up to a 9-point lead, Open Door has it down to just a 2-point margin. 16-14 as quarter two looms right after this break on the Lorain County Sports Network. Back here at Clearview High School, John Guzik along with Max Drummond and the Open Door Patriots average over 72 points a game. So the pace here, with it being a 16-14 count, definitely favors the Clippers so far tonight. But as I mentioned going into the break, Clippers had built out a 9-point lead, which is what they wanted to get out early, and Open Door chipped away at it down to a 2-point lead and starts this second quarter with the ball.
And it's interesting, even with all the full court press and a lot of the pressure that Clearview's been applying, Open Door, really the turnovers haven't popped up. They did have the one right when they couldn't get it across half court, but other than that, no errant passes, no wild passes to speak of so far.
Some kind of discussion going on amongst the referees for across the court while we waited to start the quarter. I'm not sure what that was, but Moon's shot goes up, blocked by Cruz, recovers the ball, and then fights it back up. And just like that, Julius Moon is our leading scorer tonight because he's got 6, and it's a tie game at 16.
Just great effort there. That's all you can say about that one. Fighting looks like 2 or 3 Clippers.
Young guys, it's easy to get discouraged when your shot's blocked. So stick with it. Christensen takes a 3 from the corner, no good, and Moon with the rebound. And hey, Januzzi gets it into the front court much quicker that time as they don't get the three-quarter court press. This is Rack, brings it down the left side, and driving down that baseline is Petit, no good. Moon grabs the rebound, kicks it back out on the top to Penny. His shot bounces up and off the rim and back in. That's his second three-pointer. And hey, just like that, we have a new leading scorer because Penny has 8. First lead of the game for Open Door, 19-16. Clearview had led since the opening tip. From the right side, trying to answer is Keith Colvin, and he's got 8 now with his second three-pointer of the night. We're back tied to 19. Pace picking up a little quicker the first minute of the second quarter, certainly than the first couple minutes scoring-wise of the game. We'll see how that works out because Open Door loves to run. Here's Moon getting doubled up and from behind. Gets tied up by Delgado, and that's Deacon Delgado. Creates the held ball, and alternating possession will go to Clearview as Delgado comes out and Jai Walton is back in. Walton back on the court with 4 points.
And Delgado swept out of that starting lineup as we talked about earlier, but just doing his role right there, provided key minutes. Now Walton enters back into the game as one of their top scorers.
To his Cruz. I mentioned he did not start here tonight because of an injury, but he looks fine, and they're getting the ball a lot. But that time, again, he's doing a good job of getting into the lane, but it's 3 times where we've seen where his intended pass target just wasn't there for him. Ends up being another turnover for Clearview, and here comes Januzzi back to the left side to Penny. They work it into the front court to Petit. Comes back, getting double teamed. Gets it off to Penny, and then Julius Moon tries a 3 from the corner, no good. And no one really hustled to it except for Keith Colvin, and he gets rewarded for his hustle by getting it down the court for 2, and he's got double-digit scoring already. Keith Colvin with 10 out of Clearview's 21. 21-19 now, 5:45 to go in the first half. That's Moon spinning, and then it dragged that left foot as he looked to get a teammate to pass it to. So another turnover as Kenyon Delgado returns for Clearview. Kenyon is the junior forward brother, wearing 43. Sitting down over there is Cy Christensen.
And Moon did
this is Noble bringing it in the front court.
Moon did a good job there to get the pass under control. Just once the dribbling began, he couldn't find his immediate passing option.
Working down in the corner. Now gets it to the block and down to Walton, and he's going to get hammered as he goes in between 2 open door defenders. Tried to go up, but the foul's going to get called on Aaron Petit, his first, and of the second quarter, the first team foul by either team, and Dry Walton to the line for the first time today.
Yeah, this is the first time Clippers have been able to get to the free throw line.
First one up, no good. As we look towards that far left basket, I notice a new banner up on the wall for the Clearview Clippers, and it's a red banner up there because it honors a Kansas City Chiefs player. And of course, the Chiefs getting all kind of football news, but Clearview alum Anthony Hitchens was part of that Kansas City team after he was originally drafted by Dallas, and so they've got a banner up there. It doesn't mention anything about those Cowboys, but honoring Anthony Hitchens. And Jai Walton makes the second free throw for Clearview, makes it a 22-19 game, and now the ball's loose on the baseline and goes out of bounds, last touch by a Patriot. So Clearview going to try to take advantage of another open door turnover here. 5:11 to go in the half.
And surprisingly, since that first 9-point lead we talked about, we haven't seen much separation able to happen since.
It's Colvin looking from the right corner. Back out to Noble. Colvin behind the back pass down to Walton. Back to Colvin running the baseline, but nowhere to go as the open door defense had the lane clogged up, and Julius Moon gets the steal and bringing it back the other way for the Patriots. Januzzi from the left side. Short. Gets his own rebound. From the foul line, looks left, but then puts it up. That one's no good. Rebound by Colvin. Clearview coming the other way. Pulling up is Noble into the lane and takes a shot. No good. Rebound by Open Doors, R.J. Penny, and quickly back the other way is Petit. Back to Penny, driving the lane, pulls up in the lane. Nice soft jumper from about 7 foot. And Penny has double figures as he now has 10 on the day. 4:15 to go in the half. 22-21, Clearview by 1, trying to add to that lead. Working it around, it's Lorenzana, and it's taken away another steal by the Patriots. This time picked up off the floor by Rack, and Open Door quickly back the other way. This is Penny. Over to Petit on the left side. Decides to take it himself. A little short. Comes off and rebounded by Noble, who gets it quickly ahead to Colvin, and running the court is Keith Colvin. And just like that, Colvin has 12, and it's back up to a 3-point lead. This one's going to be just back and forth all night. We got a good one lined up for you here on the Sports Network this evening. Julius Moon from just inside the arc. He drops a 2-pointer softly through, and he has 8. 1-point game, 3:28 to go in the half.
He's a definition of a triple threat. Just from anywhere on the court, he can make it.
This is one of those games where if you were sitting at home close by watching this, you say, yeah, I might want to come up here at halftime to get on this one. Noble takes the shot, and as the rebounds battled for underneath, it gets knocked out of bounds by Clearview. So Open Door will get the possession. Substitutes come on, including number 3 for Open Door with the ball is Nate Otero. He re-enters here for the first time in the second quarter, but he was in earlier. Moon on the left side. A lot of double teaming going on by that Clearview defense. Working it around the total opposite side of the court is Petit taking a three from the right side, and Otero comes away with an offensive rebound for Open Door. This is Penny trying to work into the lane, going to take up the shot off the glass, rolls around the rim, and out, no good. Rebound, Petit taken away quickly by Walton, and back the other way. Walton takes it coast to coast. He misses the layup. Battling for the rebound and getting on the floor and getting to the ball is Otero. And Al Januzzi, the coach of the Open Door Patriots, calls a timeout with Otero on the floor to save the possession, and it'll be Open Door ball when we come back after this quick 30-second timeout on the Lorain County Sports Network. So as an official, once in a while, I'm going to try to do a lot of explaining and maybe some rules interpretation, but there's a couple things we saw. Is a 30-second timeout, and Clearview actually came and sat down on the bench, which players are supposed to stay on the court during that time. And then Al Januzzi sent in Anthony Januzzi, and by rule, you have to report before that 15-second buzzer hits. It did not report by then, but they let him come into the game anyway. Now Open Door's got the ball down on the left baseline for Penny, Penny to take a three-pointer. He hits his third three-pointer of the game, and he has 13 all of a sudden. Jason Christensen for Clearview says, we didn't talk about the right things at that last timeout. We'll take one of my own here. It's going to be a full timeout, so with 2:17 to go in the half, and Open Door now up by 2 points. We'll be back with the rest of this first half on the Lorain County Sports Network. Back here at Clearview, I opened our broadcast tonight by congratulating Jim Allen for his 54th anniversary of doing local sports in Lorain County, and I was listening to WDLW on Friday afternoon when he announced this year's class of Lorain Sports Hall of Fame, and it is very heavy Clearview dominated, and we're going to get a chance to talk to one of those Clearview Clipper Hall of Fame honorees coming up at halftime, so make sure you stick around with us. We've got 2:14 to go in this first half. And Open Door now up 26-24 with Clearview coming out of the timeout with the ball. Walton works in the lane, kicks it back out. Now working it around the top, back to Lane. Try to get it down to the baseline to Delgado. He stops, looks back out. This is Lorenzana. Gets it across. And then back to Lorenzana. Looked like he wanted a three, but then changed his mind. Walton going to drive the lane on the right side and drops it in. How about the strength of Jai Walton? He decides to go. He's going. He's got 7, and we're tied with 1:43 to go in the half. Open Door gets it in the front court. This is Otero on the right side. Loses the handle of the ball, and Jai Walton is there to take. Lorenzana is taking it away, and he goes the other way. Shot no good. Rebound Delgado, no good. Rebound Jai Walton, no good. And Julius Moon finally for Open Door pulls it away. Back into the front court, Open Door. Tie game, final minute 20 of the first half. This had a good one tonight. We've been blessed with a lot of very competitive, exciting games here on our inaugural season of Lorain County Sports Network basketball. And this one is shaping up exactly the same. I started saying earlier, if you live close, this might be one of the games where you say, hey, let me come to the gym at halftime and watch this one. But happy to have you along with us here. Januzzi's three-point shot is no good. Rebound comes off to Grant, who's in the Delgado. And now Clearview with 49 seconds to go. Gets it to Delgado on the right side. Kicks it back out on top to Lorenzana. Working it to Lane on the left side. Playing catch with Malcolm. Now back Malcolm and Ethan. This is Malcolm, and as he takes his first step, didn't drop the dribble quickly enough. And he gets a traveling call for a turnover by Clearview. 36 seconds to go in the half.
Right there, the zone really affected them. They've been trying to get more looks down low, especially for Jai Walton, but that zone makes it so difficult too.
This is Moon on the left side looking around and says, I can take this myself, but misses everything. And then as Walton came with the ball, feet started moving before he get the ball out of his hands and gives it right back to Open Door. So he gets the rebound, but we'll add another turnover to the Clearview tally as we go to the final 25 seconds. That's Penny back up top. This is Otero for Open Door. Going to work for the last second shot, 15 to go. Talk about that Clearview defense when we come back to the second half for sure.
It'll be interesting to see who they choose for the last shot. A lot of streaky shooters so far tonight for the Patriots.
I'm thinking number 10's the favored guy, though, but they tries to get it inside to Petit and gets knocked away by Clearview, but before they could control it, gets out of bounds. So Open Door will keep possession, and they got 1.4 here to get a shot off. A tie game. Couldn't ask for anything better here on a Tuesday night on the Lorain County Sports Night. Januzzi going up, gets it knocked out of his hands as he tried to go up by Noble, and that's how the half ends. 26-26 is our score. Stick around. We've got a great halftime coming up for you as we'll interview one of the Hall of Fame honorees. We'll run down all the stats and numbers from this first half and, of course, get you to the second half here soon on the Lorain County Sports Network. Back here at Clearview, I'm John Guzik along with Max Drummond. We've got a tie game. Clearview and Open Door tied up in a 26-26 one. And at halftime here, we have a very, I'm honored to have you as an interviewee, and Coach Zolli, player Zolli. I only learned tonight. I guess you forget these things over here. You were part of the 74 team.
Yes, sir. Yep. So, I was a junior that year.
So tell us, we'll start with that. Tell us what happened in 1974 for you.
We had two outstanding players, Larry Fortner and Larry Harris. Larry Harris was Class A back then, Player of the Year. But Coach Walsh just kind of kept us on an even keel, and we got through a tough regional game, won by 2 against Dalton. And then we got to Columbus, and Harris kind of took over. He had a great tournament, and we were able to beat Indian Valley South in the semi, and then Pittsburgh Franklin Monroe team 74-69 in the final.
So when you're, as a player, winning the state championship there, what did you get? Was it a medal at the time? Was it a trophy?
We got, I believe, a plaque at that time.
For your own personal self?
Everybody got their own plaque.
So does that still exist in your
yes,
household
it does,
today, right?
Yeah, I hid it so my wife didn't get a hold of it, but yeah, I still have it.
So then you graduate Clearview, but you say, I'm not done with Clearview, and you came back, and I want to make sure I get the numbers right. It was 30 years of coaching.
Yeah.
And 401 wins, am I right there?
Yes, uh-huh.
So for both of those things, for as a player in that team on 74, and for those 401 wins, you are now going to be part of the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame class coming up that'll be inducted later this spring.
Yeah, just a great honor. I'm really humbled by it. I told someone great players will get a coach in the Hall of Fame, and I had plenty of great players, and Clearview's always been good to me. My parents, you can see the gym's named after them. I've been coming to Clearview games since I was this little, and Coach Walsh has been a big part of my life, but it's just been a great tribute, and I couldn't be more appreciative of the honor.
Well, halftime's only 10 minutes at high school, so I have like an hour and a half of questions we could go on to. But you mentioned Coach Walsh. So talk about, first, both as a player, kind of what you learned most from him, but then you also ended up coaching with him for a little bit too. So
yeah, I mean,
he helped you on both ends of those things. So what was the biggest takeaway you have from Coach Walsh?
Well, the biggest thing about Coach Walsh is his knowledge of the game. but his knowledge of people. He just related to everybody so well. Touched me. I had a great family life, but there are a lot of kids that didn't have a great family life that Coach Walsh stepped in and helped direct them in a good way. Just very knowledgeable. For him to come back and help me, I had about 200 wins until he came and sat next to me, and then all of a sudden I went to 400.
Doubled your output, right?
But I still stayed close with him, and he just understood the game and didn't ask you to do more than you were capable of doing, and just kind of brought out the best in everybody.
And you mentioned how the impact coaches have on players, whether you come from a solid family or something else. Mm-hmm. What are maybe some of the players that you had along the way that you felt you had the best relationship with there?
There's so many. I had a player text me today, Ronnie Russell, and he said, "You're much more than a coach, to me." And that meant a lot to me. Wilda Dower, her husband passed away, Tyree Dower, that played for me. And she just came up to me and said, "Man, Tyree loved you. He talked about you all the time." So the wins, the championships, all that's great. But really what tugs at your heart and really gets you are those relationships and those comments. And when I was coaching, I always thought, well, I hope I can have an influence like Coach Walsh had on people. And when I get comments like that, maybe I did, and that's really important to me.
Well, and you used the past tense did, but I can tell you from what I hear it does, because one of the reasons you have those great relationships is you've maintained this family relationship with Clearview, and you're still at practices helping guys along and looking for things that help the current situation. Is that correct?
Thank you, John. Yeah, I come in here, and Jason's not kind enough to let me come in, and mostly I'm just in players' ears. I'm not directing anything or anything like that. It's Jason's team now, and he's doing a great job. But I just talk to the kids because that's what I miss most. And people said, "Well, why do coaches like practice so much?" Well, you kind of control practice a lot more, than you do a game. Yeah, you understand. Yeah, and so that's what I'm doing. And like I said, Jason's kind enough to let me come up whenever I want, and I thank him for that.
So going first to your 401 wins, is there any one in particular that kind of sticks out to you that was extra special because of where it was or what number it was for you?
We've always had a great competitive thing with Oberlin, and so I remember a couple of games or years where it came down to the last game to win a championship, and we got by Oberlin. I remember a Midview game that was actually on TV back when Kenny Gilbert played, like in '98, and to be on TV, it was awesome, and we won that game too. And so that game always stood out to me. And then of course, getting to the regionals, district championships, one against Lutheran West and one against Richmond Heights. Those were special too because of the meaning, how meaningful the games were. But they're all fun, it's victory or misery.
It's amazing that your recollections go right to the players that way, that you remember them for all those years. That says a lot about the experience you had, the type of person you are. You're watching a 26-26 game tonight, so as you're sitting behind the Clearview bench here, if you were in the locker room at halftime, what advice would you give to the current Clipper team to try to pull out a win tonight?
I think we're defending well. I would just tell us to rebound a little better and take our time at the other end. A lot of times I think we get a little stagnant unless we get a turnover and we run. But we got to be able to score in the half court. So a little bit of inside out against the zone would probably be a good thing.
Well, we'll be looking for that in the second half. I appreciate you spending
John.
your halftime with us. It's an honor to have a conversation with you, and congratulations on going in. It's a double bill for you when it comes to Hall of Fame, right? You get to hang out with the team and then maybe see some of the guys you haven't seen in a few years.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that a lot. But I listen to you guys when I'm not at a game, and I appreciate the work that you guys do for the Lorain County athletes for sure. Thank you.
It's a fun for us too. Appreciate that. Coach John Zolli coming in here to talk about us and his Hall of Fame induction coming up in the spring. And again, I thank my the good old uncle, Jim Allen, who gave me the heads up on that last week, that such a Clearview-centric Hall of Fame coming up. We've got a second half ready to go. We'll go quickly through the numbers when we come back and get the game rolling back for you, because we got a good one. As good as that halftime interview was, the game to go is going to be down to the wire, I bet, because we're 26-26 here at halftime. So stick around with us. We'll be right back after this on the Lorain County Sports Network. Health Markets Insurance brings you this halftime show here at Clearview High School on the Lorain County Sports Network. If you're uninsured, enroll today with Jeff Allison in Amherst. Appreciate everything all of our sponsors do to make this happen, because John Zolli giving us some credit for our coverage, but nothing happens without these sponsors who bring you high school basketball. Running quickly through the scores, 26 for each team. Leading scorer for Open Door is R.J. Penny with 13. Julius Moon has put up 8. Anthony Januzzi, who comes in averaging 15.7, only 3 points. He's got the ball right now to start the third quarter. And then Aaron Petit has the other 2, and he has the ball right now for Open Door. Nice of them to script that out for me as we get going here. For the Clearview Clippers, Keith Colvin comes out with 12. That's Julius Moon, number 12, with a turnaround jumper to open the scoring in the second half and put Open Door back up by 2. Colvin has 12, 7 for Jai Walton, 5 for Cy Christensen, and the other 2 from Ashton Noble give 26 for Clearview in this first half. Here's Moon breaking up a pass, and getting out on the run is Januzzi. He has Colvin meeting him down there, but is enough to mess up Januzzi's shot. But with a quick putback is Nolan Rack, and he has his first 2 of the game. And all of a sudden, Open Door has their biggest lead of the game. It's 30-26 in this opening minute of the second half.
Yeah, in the first half, turnovers were a bit of a problem for Clearview, and right down the first possession, it rears its ugly head once again.
Yeah, good defense by Open Door, getting their hands in the passing lane, but obviously Clearview's got to do a better job of protecting their passes. And now they got a shot in the corner from Colvin, and he's answering with another three-pointer, and he has 15 on the game. He's lighting it up. He was only 1 out of his first 3, but they knew he was going to get there eventually because they kept giving him the ball, and he keeps taking the shot. This is Penny, the leading scorer for Open Door, driving no good, but Julius Moon's there to get the rebound and put it back up, and he's got 12 now. 3-point lead for Open Door as Clearview's quickly back into the front court. Trying to get it down on the baseline, was looking for Cy Christensen. He was left of the basket. The pass went right of the basket and right into the wall. And Open Door quickly gets it up to Rack, who's going to take a three-pointer from the right side, no good. Petit running the court, tried to get the rebound, but it comes away to Jai Walton, and he runs the court, kicks it out to Christensen on the left side. This is Delgado coming into the lane, pulls up, takes the quick little 4-footer and drops it in. Kenyon Delgado has his first 2 of the game. We're back and forth, back to a 1-point game. First 2 minutes gone here in the third quarter. Open Door gets it across the timeline. Petit gets it down to Moon, and Moon turns and runs into Jai Walton, and Rich Strong comes out and says that's a player control foul. That'll go over to Clearview with the possession. Those are the ones that those double hurt you because it counts as a foul against Moon, and that's his first, only in first of the third quarter. But also, it's a turnover as Nate Otero comes back in, number 3 for Open Door, and Nolan Rack takes a seat. Coming into the front court is Noble. Looking to set up the offense. Gets it down on the block to Delgado, cutting into the lane. Nice pass and conversion. And all of a sudden, Kenyon Delgado has back-to-back baskets, and Clearview back in the lead by 1. Three-quarter court pressure again from the Clearview defense. Gets it up to Penny on the left side. Looks to try to get it back to Moon cutting down, but it covered up now to Moon on the block. Back out to Otero. Penny across to Januzzi. Januzzi eyeing things up. Cross-court pass to Moon. Spots up the three-pointer. Off the back of the iron, no good. As Noble tried to get the rebound, gets knocked away, recovered by Moon, and then shoots it down on the block to Petit, who has his first 2 points of the half and 4 for the game. Open Door back in the lead. This is Colvin. Looking back to Noble, across to Christensen. Christensen at one dribble and back to Colvin. Christensen back on the left side. Deep three's already hit one from there. Make it two. As Cy Christensen has 8, and it's a 2-point Clearview lead. Now driving the baseline, looking to kick it out to Otero on the left side for the three-pointer. It's long. Rebound comes off to Clearview. Quickly ahead to Colvin. Boy, he does a great job of getting out on the break. And Keith Colvin converts again, and he's got 17 already. 4-point lead. It's just a 4-point lead for Clearview, and for Open Door. All of a sudden, it's a 4-point lead for the Clippers. That's how quickly we're going back and forth. Definitely an Open Door pace, though, of the scoring. This is Penny from the right side. That one's long. Rebound Christensen. Christensen gets it out to Noble, who shoots it down on the block to Delgado, and all of a sudden Delgado is running the court, and he's got 6. The lead is 6, and Open Door is going to take a timeout here as Al Januzzi recounts things. A quick first half of the third quarter, 40-34. Clearview up 6 when we come back on the Lorain County Sports Network. Boy, it seemed the first half of this quarter went by in the blink of an eye. Max Drummond along with John Guzik here. Max, what are we looking at as far as who is winning the rebounding and turnover battles so far?
So if we look at the Romeo's rebound report, Romeo's rebound report slightly in favor of Clearview. They got 16 total in that first half and just 12 to Open Door. So we'll see if that continues, and also a block for each side. So when both sides have been able to get it down low, it still hasn't been easy. A lot of contested shots.
Couple of good offensive rebounds by each team that came at key times as well. So under 4 minutes to go, more than halfway through this third quarter. Clearview up 6. This is Julius Moon backing it out. Setting up his offense. Looks for Petit over the top of the key. Fakes left, goes right. Drops it down to Moon on the left side. Moon does a great job moving without the ball. That turnaround jumper is no good. Petit rattles for the rebound. Going back up with it and puts it in. Good battle by Petit, staying with it. He has 6. Down to a 4-point lead. We're coming up on 3:25 to go in the third quarter. This is Noble looking, doesn't like what he has, kicks it out on the left side. Colvin, Noble, Christensen now. Gets some pressure from Otero, and then Petit knocks the ball away from Walton, but out of bounds, so Clearview will keep it. As coming back in is number 2 for both teams. It's for the white jersey, it's Aiden Cruz, and for Open Door, it's Joe Pruitt.
You can tell Cy Christensen has gotten the attention of that Open Door defense. Now they're closing out on him every chance they get.
And here they, just as you speak, he drops one in from that same spot. He's hit 3 from that left side so far today. Christensen now with 11. He's in double figures as well, and it's now a 7-point lead for Clearview. Januzzi kicks it down to Petit on the block. He got away from the defense, and he puts it back up, and he's got back-to-back Patriot points, and 8 on the night. Back to 5-point lead, 2:40 to go third quarter. This is Aiden Cruz going to drive the lane. He gets contact from Petit as he goes up. He's going to send Cruz to the line.
And we haven't had many chances to see guys. Just 4 combined free throw attempts in that first half at the Rewalk Law free throw line.
For Petit, his second foul of the game and second team foul of the quarter. And you mentioned that Rewalk foul line is where Aiden Cruz drops the first one in, and it's brought to you by Rewalk Law LLC. Call attorney Chris Rewalk for a free consultation. More subs come in for Clearview. This time 1 is Malcolm Lane, 0 is Ethan Lorenzana. They both came in and spent some time on the court together in the first half. Cruz makes the second free throw. He has 2 on the game, coming in off the bench himself. Back out to a 7-point lead, 2:35 to go, and now the defense for Clearview, that three-quarter court defense, results in their second backcourt turnover of the game, tracked down by Cruz, and now he's setting up the offense in the front court, trying to add back to this Clearview lead. This is Lane on the right side. into Walton, spins in the lane, shot up, no good, great move, just didn't get going, and Petit gets the rebound, but it's taken away by Cruz, and then goes off of Petit's leg out of bounds, so Clearview will keep it. 2:11 to go, third quarter, 7-point Clearview lead.
And right there, that's normally just money for Jai Walton. Easy look in the paint like that for him.
Yeah, he got the right look, just bounced around up there a couple of times. Good shot, just not going. This time it's Cruz trying to fight it back up, no good, fighting for his own rebound. He gets it, but then grabbed out on his back was R.J. Penny, and he had enough of the ball to create a held ball situation, and with the alternating possession arrow, ball will stay with the Clippers. Coming in the game now for Open Doors, number 14, Tyler Reeser. He's a 5'10 senior, averaging just over 3 points and almost 3 rebounds a game. 2:05, third quarter. Just got the feel this one's going down to the very, very end. This is Jai Walton, way up top, off to Cruz. Not a whole lot of movement on the Clearview offense, and now they do get some movement down the left side, and it's Lorenzana going up, and it's no good. Rebounded by Januzzi, gets it ahead to Penny. Penny looking to see what he can create. Stops on the baseline with his jumper. It's up and good. He's got his first 2 of the second half. 15 on the game. It's back to a 5-point Clipper lead with 1:34 to go, third quarter.
And they missed all their 3-pointers this half, actually, but in the paint, they've been very effective here in the third quarter.
Lane, Cruz, now Christensen down in the corner to Lorenzana. Going to try to 3 from the far corner. No good. Julius Moon battles and gets the rebound for Open Door, and he's going to bring it up, but he's getting double teamed in the backcourt. Finally gets it to Januzzi. Still pressure from the Clearview defense as Januzzi spins and twists his way into the front court, and now takes a move to the hoop, and a layup is up and good. Wow. Boy, you're so worried about Anthony's range, and then he just had a quick step. And once he got the first step going, he had the full sprint to the basket. He has 5 on the game. Back to a 1-possession ball game, under a minute to go in the third quarter. Lane and Lorenzano play catch, and it goes to Cruz, and then knocked away by Pruitt, picked up by Januzzi. Januzzi into the front court off the turnover, and the steal pulls up on the right side of the foul line, and he converts again. All of a sudden, he's got 7, and it's a 1-point game as we head to the final 30 seconds of the quarter. This is Lorenzano. Looks to Cruz. Cruz coming in the lane. Dumps it down on the baseline to Walton. Again, moving without the ball. Jai Walton creates points for Clearview. He has 9, and it's back to a 3-point lead. Final 15 seconds. As Januzzi tries to get into the front court, he gets fouled by Malcolm Lane. His first and just the team first of the quarter. So it's going to be kind of an inconsequential foul, but it allows some substitution from Jason Christensen's bench, including bringing in 14 as Colvin and 42 as Deacon Delgado. 10 in the blue jersey is Januzzi, bringing it across the timeline against pressure. Tries to use a moon pick and go back to the right side, pulls up for a 2-pointer, short, rebound Noble, and time runs out. 47-44, it's a 3-point lead by Clearview, but if you've been paying attention at all, this one is far from over. We got a lot of back and forth expected as we get to the fourth quarter, so stick around here on the Lorain County Sports Network. Can I say thanks enough to John Zolli for spending some time with us at halftime? I really appreciate the former Clearview Clipper player and coach coming over and spending some time with us at halftime. You know, it's ironic because we kind of, as we're creating this Lorain County Sports Network and our inaugural basketball season, our first halftime interview was Al Januzzi, and now a great interview here at Clearview with John Zolli. So appreciate him spending some time with us. Puts a lot of pressure on the guys we're going to interview during our Peace, Love, and Little Donuts postgame show. So let's see what we can get out of them. Right now, Open Door trying to get back to a one-point game, but that shot fails by Penny. Rebound comes off by Cruz. And quickly now, moving the ball is Lorenzana on the right side, back to Cruz, guarded closely by Januzzi. This is Lane. Little patience by the Clearview offense, up by 3. First minute of the final quarter. This is Cruz against Penny. Gets the ball over to Noble, who drives the lane, goes off the right side of the rim. Rebound by Januzzi. Quickly out on the run is Penny. Great pass by Januzzi. Great conversion by Penny. He has 17, RJ does, and it's a one-point game again.
The transition movement there, Januzzi just ignited that fast break immediately.
Great vision to get it up the court and then rose up to get the ball over the defense. And now as Ethan Lorenzana is looking to make something happen, Joe Pruitt gets called for smacking him on the arm. For Job, his first foul of the game and first foul against Open Door in this fourth quarter. So Clearview takes the ball out at that 28-foot mark there you see on the floor. Cruz guarded by Pruitt. Sit off on the right side to Lorenzana. Lorenzana looking, no 5-second count, so he's taking his time. Noble gets it off to Cruz on the left side. Cruz going to dribble back to the top of the key. A lot of patience here, one-point game. The pace was really an Open Door pace. I mentioned they average scoring more than 15 points a game more than Clearview. This methodical stuff trying to maintain the lead is what Clearview does, but as Malcolm Lane was cutting across the foul line, he ran into the back of Joe Pruitt, pushed him off the spot, so he's going to get called for an offensive foul. Team control foul is another turnover for Clearview.
And we've seen them trying to do a lot of off-ball movement and forcing Open Door to have to keep up with the rotations, but right there, just unfortunate, like cross pass almost with one of their other players.
Coach Christensen asking about the validity of that call since Pruitt was guarding someone else, but bottom line is he had his spot on the floor and Lane moved him off of that, so he gets the foul. Team fouls even at 1 here. That could be a factor later in the game. Close game like this could come down to free throws. This is Penny for Open Door, guarded closely by Lorenzana. Gives to Moon. Moon going up. Gets contact, and as he flips it up the right hand, get kind of a delayed call from the baseline that it was a charge, his second charge of the game. And again, another turnover with the team control fouls. Delgado and Lorenzana go sit down for Clearview. For Moon, that's his second, both of them offensive fouls down on the block. And Clearview going to try to build on this 1-point lead as we're under 6 minutes to go now in the fourth quarter. I think at this game I have to start saying fourth quarter, not the game, because this has all the makings of an OT. Here's Jai Walton driving the lane, gets the ball knocked loose by Penny and came off of Walton's knee as he was trying to go up to the basket. So last touched by a white jersey, so the blue jerseys take over, and Anthony Januzzi quickly into the front court, gets it to Moon on the left side. Ball fake and then pulls up for the 10-footer, no good. Rebound comes off to Noble. Noble gives it up to Cruz, he'll bring it in the front court. 5:25 to go, fourth quarter. Cruz into the lane, kicks it back out to Noble. Playing catch with Cruz, and then they lose it on the baseline, and it's picked up by Julius Moon. Moon's got 3 or 4 steals maybe already tonight. Another turnover for the Clippers, though. Good for Open Doors, bad for Clearview. This is Pruitt. Kicks it back out to Penny. Penny on the right side to Anthony Januzzi. They kind of let him go with that one, and he says, I'll take it. Makes that one all day. He's got 10 now on the game, double figures for Januzzi. And it's a 2-point lead now as Open Door has come back from that 7-point deficit here in the second half to lead with 4:59 to go in the fourth quarter. Come back. We'll have the rest of it right after this on the Lorain County Sports Network. These fast-paced games like we have here tonight at Clearview against Open Door make the play-by-play guy keep talking a lot. They don't get a lot of chances for the color guy to come in. And Max Drummond, what do you see so far in this second half? What's going to be the deciding factor in this close game?
Well, it's been interesting. Open Door, they've had to get creative and find different guys. Obviously, we've seen R.J. Penny being able to make a lot of baskets, Anthony Januzzi, but Julius Moon, they've had to do it without him for the most part. He's almost been silenced here in the second half. And as for Clearview, it's been a real streaky performance on offense. They've hit some shots, but they've also been turning the ball over quite often. So if they can limit that, I can definitely see them forcing overtime or even winning this game outright.
And a lot of that is pressure by the Open Door defense, as we're seeing here. But Cy Christensen said, I can shoot from anywhere. That one doesn't go in. And as they battle for the rebound, they're going to say it went off of Petit. Clearview basketball. 4:43 to go, fourth quarter. This is Christensen. He's the top long-range shooter. He'll be the inbounder. Looking, gives it all the way back to the circle for Noble. Plays catch with Colvin, and now this is Cruz. Cross-court pass to Colvin. And that one's short, and Julius Moon with the rebound. 2-point lead for Open Door. They were down by as many as 9 in the first half. They were down by 7 in the third quarter. Now have the lead again. Pass to Januzzi. Hesitates. Gets it to Pruitt, works it around. Pruitt getting a few more minutes on the court this game than we've seen him in a couple other times we've had Open Door on our radio broadcast, WOBL and WDLW, of course, is what I'm talking about. This is Januzzi, pressure from Colvin. Looked like he tried to hook around him, no call. Pruitt gets the ball, and then when he tries to go down the block, it's picked away by Cruz. He doesn't even possess it, actually, until he gets in the front court, but great athletic control and gets it to Colvin, who gets his first basket of the fourth quarter, and he now has 19 on the game. 49-49. This is a good one. 3:42 to go, fourth quarter. Petit gets it into Moon on the block. Moon waves the ball across Walton's face and gets it back to Petit, cutting down the lane. And for Aaron Petit, he now has 8 in the second half, 10 for the game. And Open Door back up by 2, 3:24 to go.
How on earth did Moon get that to Petit?
How did he even see him moving in that direction?
Good
right?
thing we have the video.
There's a shot from the corner, no good, but rebound comes off to Walton. His putback no good, and Julius Moon says, I'll take that. Open Door resets with the lead, and just over 3 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Wow, Don Vincent was here earlier. I'm not sure if I still see him in the crowd, but he is the one who's been putting together these schedules for us, and he's gotten us nothing but great games week in and week out. Appreciate that. Make sure you stick around. We're going to tell you where we're going to be going next after tonight's game. Thanks to our friends at Ernie's Auto Body, bring you our schedule. This is Moon getting it down on the block to Petit. Pruitt running the lane across the lane and on the right side. Throws it up for his first 2 points of the game. And now Open Door matches their biggest lead of the game with 4. Christensen back out to Noble. Noble looking. Shoves it down the corner, down the lane to Colvin. Great moving without the ball again. And now Colvin, leading scorer on the night, has 21. And it's still a 2-point game. Open Door with the lead and the ball. 2:13 to go in the fourth quarter. Petit, handoff Pruitt. This is Penny. Penny working against Walton. Going to try to go all the way, and as he picks up the dribble into shot, he gets contact from Cruz, and they're going to call the block. Shot goes. Points good for Penny. He has 6 in the half and 19 for the game. He's looking to go to be a 20-point scorer here. And just like that, Open Door has their largest lead of the game of 5 points, 56-51. And it's now 2 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Clearview offense has been a little stagnant since the end of the third quarter. Nothing consistent. They've had some nice looks inside. No consistent scoring. This is Walton trying to spin. Looked like he dragged that pivot, but no call. Colvin back to Walton, and as he goes up, he gets contact from Pruitt from the side. And they're going to send Walton to the line where he was earlier today and made 1 out of 2.
Yeah, right there, perfect. Offensive possession, stopping the clock and getting a chance for points here for Walton and the Clippers.
Joe Pruitt, his second foul of the game, third team foul of the quarter on Open Door. 5 points, like I said, is the biggest lead for Open Door. It's short-lived. I'll tell you what, the coach is making it easy on me tonight. Let's just sub both of them number 1s in there. So one for Open Door is Nolan Rack. He's in there with 2 points on the game. And one for Clearview in the white jersey is Malcolm Lane, scoreless, but hustling on the rebound side. And there we're going to get a lane violation on Colvin, trying to get a head start on Julius Moon. And unfortunately, cost them the shot. So we'll remain with a 4-point lead. So it's actually not an attempt. Have to fix that one scoring-wise on our stat sheet. Just talking to ourselves, partners here, to get that one straight. Minute and a half, fourth quarter. This is a good one. This is Moon getting harassed by Walton. Now double team. Gets around the double team. He's got great pass underneath because Rack was wide open. He decides to give it up to Petit coming to the hoop. He gets fouled on his way up, so the shot doesn't go in, but he does get fouled by Aiden Cruz. For Cruz, really the only person on the floor in foul trouble because that's his third. It's also the team third. And Petit to the line for the first time today to shoot 2. First one up is good. Puts it back out to that game-high 5-point lead for Open Door. Clearview was up by as much as 9 in the first half. Number 3 in the white jersey is Cy Christensen coming back for the Clippers. Second shot is up and no good. Rebound Walton. 5-point Open Door lead, minute 14 to go. Walton works down the left side, kicks it back out to Christensen. Had a little trouble corralling it and getting form possessions. I think that affected his shot. And then Colvin and Petit both come down with the simultaneous rebound, and the held ball means the possession arrow is going to point to Clearview. Joe Pruitt, number 2, back in for Open Door. Pruitt only 2 points, but I mean, he's been all over the court. A lot more minutes than I remember seeing him earlier in the season against Open Door. Here's a turnover by Clearview as Colvin had turned to go set a pick, and the pass went behind him. And by the time he saw it and recovered, it was in the backcourt. Here's another interesting official observation. I'm going to tell you, with the new rule, when the violation's in the backcourt, the inbound has to be in the front court for the offense. And with the new rule this year, there's only 4 spots where you inbound it. Nobody seems to really care. Ball battled for him. Coming away with it is Noble, who finds a wide open Colvin down on the block the other way. He converts. How many times have we seen Keith Colvin just do layups there to convert points for Clearview? And it breaks it down to a 1-possession game with 40 seconds left. Let's reset things and stay with us right here, as we've got team fouls even, 3 and 3 apiece. We know the possession arrow now points to Open Door. Each team has timeouts left. Both teams have 60s left in this game. So what are you talking about? You're Clearview, you're the one who's down. You got to put the defensive pressure on first.
Of course, they've been able to create a lot of pressure in the half-court sets, or in the full-court sets, excuse me. You definitely want to look to stretch that here as long as you can. Maybe if you can even force that 10-second call. And obviously Open Door, just do whatever you can get that up court. We've seen them be able to do it a couple times, especially with Januzzi being aggressive, but looks like he's going to inbound it here.
We're seeing him come out with they got too many guys on the court. Clearview's got 6 guys out there.
Oh.
And we got a whistle from Jimbo Riddell, and it is going to be a technical on Clearview for having 6 guys on the court. It was interesting. So the Clearview players were turning around, making the T sign. I don't know if they were asking for a timeout or heading off, and I'm not sure who was supposed to come off. When it was finally recognized, Malcolm Lane was the one who came running off the court, but apparently he was supposed to be in there. Either way, it's a technical, and what it does at this point with 41 seconds left is it sends R.J. Penny to the line for 2. He's already 3 out of 3 there, now 4 out of 4. Open Door already had possession of the ball, so they'll continue that, but those are 2 costly points when you're down to the final 41 seconds, as it puts Open Door back up to their biggest lead of the game in 5 points, 59-44. And this time we'll inbound at half court, and that's Rack getting it in to Januzzi. Double teamed in the backcourt. Now almost going to get triple teamed, but gets away, gets it in the front court to Moon. And he gets whacked. They're going to call the foul behind on Noble and say if that was on Cruz, would have been his 4th. But for Ashton Noble, just his first. And now that's going to bring Moon to the line. Again, remind you, new rule this year, 5 fouls per quarter, and that is the 5th foul on Clearview. So Julius Moon goes to the line for 2. First one's up and good. Julius Moon, his first trip to the foul line today. He now has 13 on the game, and this is the biggest lead of the game for Open Door. Now up by 6 with 34.9 on the clock. Eyes the second one. Shots up and good. So 14 points for Julius Moon, the largest lead of the game at the best time if you're Open Door, right? 7-point lead with 34 seconds left to go. They were down by 7 earlier in this half. So now Clearview trying to create some last-second heroics, and nice pass dish down to a cutting Ashton Noble coming down the lane, and Jason Christensen immediately jumps up off the Clearview bench to call a timeout. 4 points for Noble, brings it down to a 5-point game here on the Lorain County Sports Network. Invite you to stick around for the Peace Love and Little Donuts post-game show. One of the things we'll talk about is our Mr. and Miss Basketball Watch, as we got some people on the floor tonight who are going to get part of that conversation. Jason Christensen mentioned he's got a lineup of 7 on his roster of seniors, and got a pretty impactful seniors on that Open Door team as well. Miss Basketball brought to you by I-90 Nissan in Sheffield, because the deals are so good, and WOBL and WDLW Sports Department happy to again be a presenting sponsor of both Miss Basketball and Mr. Basketball to be presented in March. Now full court pressure again. Looks like it's set up man-to-man this time by Clearview, but it's a trapping man-to-man. Ball's inbounded to Rack, and he gets racked up by Noble. He'll be wrapped from behind and send Nolan to the line. He has 2 points on the game and making his first trip to the free throw line. In the charity stripe brought to you by Rewalk Law here on the Lorain County Sports Network. 5 points is the lead, 21.6 seconds on the clock. All fouls are 2-shot fouls for Open Door. Strategy involves Cy Christensen, number 3, coming back in for Clearview. Of course, he's their long-range shooter. You got to have him on the floor when you're down. And Ajay Walton back on the court, number 5. He has 10 on the game. And Nolan Rack makes both of them. And for his hard work, he goes and sits down as Joe Pruitt comes in to play the defense. And Clearview down by 7 again with 20 seconds to go. Has got to create something fast. Now here's an instance where R.J. Penny's happy to give up the foul, because it takes another 4 seconds off the clock, and it's only the 4th team foul on Open Door, so it just causes Clearview to reset and take the ball back out of bounds. Next foul, if there is one, Clearview would go to the line. 17.6 and a 7-point lead for Open Door. Cruz is worried about the over and back, but that's not the case there. Here's a 3-pointer by Noble, no good. Petit gets the rebound, and that's probably going to do it as we're down to 9.7 seconds and still a 7-point lead with Open Door going back to the line.
And just down the stretch, Open Door has done a great job of just hitting their free throws. We didn't have a whole lot in the first half, but so far in this half, eight made free throws already.
And kind of the really, as he makes the first one, it makes it an 8-point lead for Aaron Petit. Petit, most of his points here in the second half. He's got 10 now in the second half, 12 for the game. Looking for 13, and he does not get it. Rebound, but he gets the rebound, and he gets it underneath to Julius Moon, who puts it back, and that's going to put this one away. That's 16 for Moon, 10-point lead for Open Door, and that's how it ends, with Open Door taking a 66-56 win over the Clearview Clippers. And wow, we knew it was a good one coming up tonight, and it did not disappoint. Both teams doing a great job of entertaining us here tonight. Hope you were entertained as well on the Lorain County Sports Network. But stick around, because we're going to talk to Al Januzzi, head coach of the Open Door Patriots, and at least one of the Patriots as well, as we get into the Peace, Love, and Little Donuts postgame show right after this on the Lorain County Sports Network. I tell you what, we get some good games here on the Lorain County Sports Network, and tonight was as good a one as we're going to have. Yeah, the final score says it was a 10-point margin, but this was in doubt from start to finish, and I don't know how you guys do it coaches-wise. We'll start with Open Door winning coach Al Januzzi. First of all, congratulations, Coach. I know why you don't have any hair left, right? Because these guys, these games like this, you've been doing this for years and years now, right? What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, it was just a great game. I thought both teams played well. It was just kind of a grind-out kind of game. And, Clearview, had guys hitting threes against our zone. They play tough defense. But I think, in the end, I think our guys executed down the stretch. They stuck together. They got stops when they needed them. And, really it was, I think we handled their pressure well. I don't know how many times we turned the ball over, but it didn't seem like a lot. I think early on we were getting good looks in the first half, and we just weren't making shots. And I think we got a little bit more patient, a little bit more disciplined in the half court in the second half, and got good looks and knocked them down. And then when we scored, we were able to get back in defense. If we come down, take a quick shot, a missed three, they're off to the races and they're getting a bucket. So, that offensive efficiency was critical. And, we did it down the stretch. But it was a great game. It was good. These guys, it's not like an angry rivalry. It's just good guys that, we come here in the summer, we play against these guys in the summertime, so they all know each other. There's good relationships there, and just two good teams going after each other and competing. It was a great game.
You talked about your offense and limiting your turnovers, but talk about your defense and the turnovers you created. I don't know if this was a high point for steals for you guys tonight. You guys had quite a few out there.
Yeah, well, we did a great, and that's one of the things we've been emphasizing. So we mixed up defenses on them. We went a little, 1-2-2 zone, a little 2-3 zone, and then when we settled into man-to-man and we switched everything, I thought we communicated well, and I thought we were good in the help side and defended well, and we were able to get some steals and get some stops when we needed them. And that's really kind of what it came down to. They stopped hitting threes, and getting those defensive stops was critical for us.
And, Coach, we talked about it earlier. You schedule up. I mean, you definitely challenge your guys and try to prepare them for the second season. And as we're getting closer to that, we're in the final month of the season. What do you feel like you got out of this game? You played up again another division, and where do you see these guys going here in the final weeks of this 23-24 campaign?
Well, I'm very pleased with where we're at. Really, this is our fourth win out of 5, and the last win we lost, we only had a chance to practice once in 3 days leading up to that game, which, to me, you have to practice the day before a game. If you don't, it's like a Monday practice. So I think that was the struggle there. I'm just pleased with the way our guys are playing together, moving the basketball. I'm pleased with our poise and our ability to, take one possession at a time and grind it out. And it's really what it comes down to. You get in the second half of the season and in the tournament, it comes down to a half-court game, and you've got to be able to execute on both ends of the floor, and you've got to be able to be patient and get a good shot and be disciplined enough sometimes to pass up a shot to get a good shot offensively. And then defensively, you just got to lock down, and you got to communicate, and you got to rebound the ball. And our guys have done that, and the strength of schedule thus far, I think, is really starting to show in the games that we've been playing.
And with this team, you got 4 guys who average in double figures. We're going to talk to one of those guys here in just a second. But how about a word about Joe Pruitt tonight? Because it seemed like you played him a few more minutes tonight. You got a little bit different effect out of him.
Yeah, so Joe brings energy. Joe's out there. He's the guy bringing energy for defense, and that becomes contagious. And then at the same point in time, he knows his role. He doesn't try to do too much on offense. He makes a nice little key layup down there. But he's the guy who brings that energy on defense. He's all over the place, and again, he makes great decisions on offense. So I love having him on the floor.
Well, let's embarrass this guy next to you while you're on the mic here, because you mentioned that Joe brings his energy and his defense. What part of this guy's game do you rely on the most?
Well, it is his tenacity on the boards, and I've coached a long time. I don't know that I've had a player that is as aggressive on both the offensive and defensive glass as Aaron is. And, Aaron did a great job of just playing in the flow of the game tonight, finishing inside, jump stopping, finishing, moving without the ball. And, he and I have talked about that. Like, when that happens, you're going to end up with a great game. And, it's just a great lesson, I think, for Aaron, for our players, to know that playing together benefits everybody. And, he did a great job. Aaron's done a great job for us last year and this year. He's a great, great kid. He's coachable. He's easy to tease without getting offended.
I was trying to do that right here.
You know what I'm saying? So, no, it's I love him to death, and I love the fact that he had a great game tonight.
Well, thanks, Coach. Congratulations again. Let's have a few words with Aaron Petit. Aaron, you're a Hoop Tech player of the game. Hoop Tech, where basketball meets technology, and quite frankly, we were having our discussion because you had some teammates who had some nice games tonight, but it was your rebounding. I felt it really kind of put you over the edge. You're having a good game tonight. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, you went into halftime with only 2 points on the offensive side, and obviously you come in, you're averaging over 12.
Yeah.
So when you're at halftime and that point, and the offense isn't really the big part of your first half, what are your thoughts at halftime? What are you discussing with your coach and teammates?
Well, I've always noticed that whenever I go into halftime, if I haven't had the best first half, a lot of times I'll get into my head too much, I'll start to think too much, and then I'll start to force it. And whenever you force with our offense, it never works. And that's really with any offense in high school. You just got to continue to let the game come to you, trust your teammates, and just play within the flow of the game. And that's what I try to do.
And you did come out and have 10 points in the second half, 12 for the game. I think back you told us 6 rebounds on the game for him. And so this was an back and forth game, which we kind of knew coming in.
Yeah.
But at one point in the first half, you guys down 9.
Yeah.
In the third quarter, you're down 7. So what's going on in the conversations up and down the court and in the huddles at the timeouts that get you guys to get over the hump and get back in front?
Well, I think today partly it was we've had a few tough losses in the past few games, and we're really trying to shoot for a higher seed in the tournament. So yeah, I mean we'll face anybody in the tournament, but obviously to get a better seed always helps you in trying to get a tournament run. But
stay away from those Warren JFK guys as long as you can, right?
That's right. That's right. No, but we were just in the huddle. We're like, guys, we can't lose this game. We're not going to accept loss, and we just kept on fighting, kept encouraging each other, and we were able to pull it out. So yeah.
Well, you guys, certainly your encouragement with each other was telling, even on the court, when they would go with full court press or they'd try to pressure you, you guys stayed calm. What is the secret behind that? You guys were so patient out there.
Honestly, coaches just, keep on pressing, just slow it down, play your game. Don't let the other team, force you into situations you don't want to be in. You just take what the defense is giving you, and you don't try to do too much. It's like when we play as a team and we don't try to just show off individually, that's when we're at our best. And yeah.
Well, it certainly showed tonight, and multiple guys in double digits. So congrats on the win.
Yeah, that really is our goal to have the points and rebounds just completely spread out, because when everyone has a good game, then you future teams come in and scouting us. It's like, well, look, they've got everybody's contributing. Who do we focus on? So that's what our main goals are. So yeah.
And you seem to do it all over the court, and like I said, great job on the boards as well as you had a couple nice dishes to teammates as well. So for that, Aaron Petit, our Hoop Tech player of the game, congratulations. We have this great design T-shirt, which is courtesy of Lake Screen Printing, Lorain County's oldest and largest union label screen print company, and we appreciate them being a part of our broadcast tonight, and appreciate you giving us an entertaining night on the Lorain County Sports Network. Aaron Petit with the Open Door Patriots. And we continue on with our Peace, Love, and Little Donuts post-game show. As we're always the last one out here. I know that's my fault, but the lights are being turned off. So let's get to the numbers and wrap things up here. I will tell you that for the Open Door Patriots, they had quarters of 14, 12, 18, and then a final quarter of 22, their biggest quarter for the end. And they win going away with a final count of 66-56. For Open Door, we'll start with Aaron Petit. He did have 12 points for the game. Leading scorer of the game, R.J. Penny, though. He was all over the place and spread it out equally well. He not only had 13 by halftime, he sealed some free throws down at the end, including that technical in the final minute that really made it a no-doubter for Open Door. He finishes with 22. Julius Moon has 16. Anthony Januzzi actually held below his season average, but his 10 points certainly a big part of what happened tonight. And then Nolan Rack with 4, and Joe Pruitt, as we mentioned him with Coach Januzzi, also had a bucket to round out the scoring for the Open Door Patriots. Meanwhile, the hosts, the Clearview Clippers, had quarters of 16, 10. Their biggest quarter was the third when they scored 21, but then only got 9 in the final quarter, and that was the difference in kind of fading away there at the end. 2 free throws were Aiden Cruz as he came off the bench coming back from an injury, and Cy Christensen ends up with 11. Keith Colvin, he was hitting from threes early and a lot of fast break layups as he kept the pressure on the Open Door Patriots all game. He finishes with a team-high 21 points on the night. Meanwhile, Jai Walton, he ended up with 7 by halftime, 10 for the game, 4 points for Ashton Noble, and 6 points, which all really came back-to-back-to-back for Canyon Delgado for Clearview to round out their 56 points on the night, just shy of their season average of 57.8 points a game. Getting into the rest of the stats, which is ironically brought to you by Al Januzzi, but not Coach Al Januzzi. Al Januzzi, CPA, where it's all about the numbers. We appreciate everything Coach Januzzi does for us. And Max Drummond has a synopsis of what was going on tonight.
Yeah, it really came down to a couple of things, at least in my eyes. So for Open Door, they were able to limit their turnovers, especially considering that press, only 10 to Clearview's 14. And then the foul line, it ended up being a 10-point game. Well, Open Door, 11 of 13 from the free throw line, 4 of 5 for Clearview. It seemed like that might have been the difference, just getting to the foul line a few more times and being able to hang on to the ball there. So all that led to a very competitive game deep into the fourth quarter.
And Romeo's Pizza brings us our rebound report. Romeo's Pizza is locally owned and operated in LaGrange and Lorraine. And we kind of hinted at that when we talked to Aaron Petit.
Yeah, Petit finishing with 6 himself, and then 23 for Open Door overall and 25 for the Clippers. So pretty even rebounding battle back and forth.
And then also we have a shooting star of the game, which was brought to you by United States Air Force. Every game we recognize someone who is kind of just shooting the lights out tonight. Brought to you by the U.S. Air Force. Aim high. Visit Staff Sergeant McCraven in Avon or airforce.com. And I think that one's a no-doubter. It's got to be R.J. Penny for Open Door, as Keith Colvin had a great night for the Clearview Clippers. But Penny did it all. He was 5 for 5 from the line. He had 3 3-pointers in the first half, which was keeping everything in the game for Open Door. As I mentioned, they were down by 9 in that second quarter before they came back to tie it at halftime. And then really balanced scoring and pours in 22 points. So R.J. Penny, our star shooter of the game, shooting star, brought to you by United States Air Force. So a couple other things, housekeeping things to wrap up here before we send you back to your regularly scheduled YouTubing on this Tuesday evening. I want to again thank our coach and former Clearview Clipper player John Zolli for joining us at halftime. A great interview, and what a great history he has, not only winning that state championship 50 years ago, but then 30 years of coaching in this very gymnasium. And you see on the court and on the wall, this is the Frank and Ann Zolli Gymnasium, which are his parents. And so what a history the Zollis have in this building. We couldn't bring enough of that magic to get a win for the Clippers tonight. But Open Door heads on for greener pastures for them, as they're now 9-6 on the season. And their next game will be coming up this Friday at Cornerstone Christian before they finish out the month against Benedictine next week. For the Clearview Clippers, they're going to get back in the Lorain County League action as they will take on Columbia on Saturday this week, and then play at Vermilion next Tuesday to finish out the month. And we mentioned our final broadcast on the radio will be February 23rd, so be looking for boys tournament hoops to start after that. And we're going to continue to talk about the Mr. Basketball Award. As we alluded to during the game, Mr. Basketball Watch is brought to you by Nick Abraham, Illyria Ford, where you can shop IllyriaFord.com. A lot of seniors out there tonight. Who sticks out in your head tonight, Max, that you saw play this game tonight?
Yeah, there are certainly quite a few. Aaron Petit probably with that strong performance there and almost on the verge of a double-double near his average. Certainly going to be a name in the discussion here as the season moves on.
Yeah, and other senior, we talked about these guys on the Open Door team that average double figures, so you got to keep an eye on Anthony Januzzi. R.J. Penny had 22 tonight, and like I said, he was our shooting star. And then you look in the white jerseys, and I really like the way Jai Walton, I like his game, the way he just hustles, runs the floor, as well as plays strong and big down on the block. He had a great game. And then Keith Colvin, also a senior for Clearview. Again, a team-high 21 points for them. So all those guys talk about with our Mr. Basketball Watch as WOBL and WDLW Sports Department will be a part of presenting that at season's end. Here's what's next, brought to you by Ernie's Auto Body. Our schedule coming up, we invite you to join us next Tuesday here on YouTube as we will be over at Illyria Catholic, another non-conference game. Again, a really big game for both teams trying to prepare for the second season, as it'll be Amherst playing at the Illyria Catholic Panthers. And invite you to be listening on the radio tomorrow. We'll have girls basketball from Illyria. That's a Southwestern Conference game against Avon. On Friday night, both our stations will have live coverage from across the county. On WDLW, they'll be over at Brookside, and then Brookside will be hosting this very same Clearview team, trying to bounce back, and Brookside trying to build back after they got upset and dropped their first game in the Lorain County League. Meanwhile, we will have Lorain County League action ourselves on WOBL. I'll be with Dave Rivera on Friday night down in LaGrange as the Keystone Wildcats will host the Black River Pirates. So another big week of basketball, part of the WOBL and WDLW sports department. Again, our thanks to John Zolli for joining us at halftime, my partner Max Drummond for keeping track of all these numbers, Edwin Vereen and Michael Allison doing all the technical behind-the-scenes stuff, making everything shine greatly for us. So make sure you join us a week from tonight. Every Tuesday, we're live here on YouTube, and next week at Elyria Catholic. Tonight here from Clearview, signing off with a final score of the Open Door Patriots 66, the Clearview Clippers 56. Have a great night, everybody.